I'd like to call the work session to order, and I usually would immediately hand it over to Mr. Wilkes, but I just want to tell you how nice this looks right tonight. So it's fun that you're here. I'm sorry that you got to stay through the work session to get to the other part, but hang around. Thank you. Mr. Wilkes.
Thank you, Mr. McKinney. This work session should be relatively brief. Hint, hint. Come on up, Mr. Gray. He's going to cover our July financials.
I really thought everybody was here for me tonight. And I feel bad for them because we just did this in Institute, and now they have to listen to it again. But I'll be brief because a lot of the good stuff really hasn't happened till August, and we're not talking about it yet anyway. So if you'll open the narrative, sir. And I'll just go from there quickly. July revenues were $1.5 million. That brings the year to date to $40.3 million, or 77% of overall budget. Expenditures were $3.8 million. Total expenditures for the year, $50.9 million. So everything revenue and expense-wise still looks great year to date. If you'll just go to the bottom and we'll hit months on hand quick. Right at the top of that last page there. Fund balance. So the fund balance for the month took a $681,000 hit, bringing the reserves to $9.5 million. That's still 4.75 months worth of expenses, and still puts us, I want to say, about a month and a quarter ahead of where we finished last year. So still in a good spot with a lot of the upside from the summer as far as sales tax, lodging, stuff like that to come in August and September. So that's all I have. Questions?
Any questions for Mr. Gray? Thank you, Mr. Gray.
Just one. So we're done receiving that norm, huh?
It still comes in small pieces at a time. These actually are like judge of or probate payments that still come every single month, but the big dollars are done. They come roughly December, January, February-ish time frame. So anything now is just trickling.
Next, I'll ask Mr. Joe Blevins to come forward and talk about our capital plan. Mr. Blevins.
All right. As each year in September, we send to the state requires that each school system puts out a 5-year capital plan. Just again, I want to emphasize that the plan is very fluent. It can change. It's not in stone, but it's what's required of us for the state. It's based on, you see the factors there, the things we look at: student enrollment, facility assessments, educational programs, and strategic planning. And so you'll see ours is really going to be focused on the student enrollment and facilities, as well as the educational programs right now. Sir, if you'll go ahead and open her up. So this plan did not change from last year. This is the identical plan that we gave to the state. You'll notice there's still a lot with the athletic facility on there, simply because it has not been closed out yet. The first 4 items actually deal with the athletic facility. So you'll see the first one there is DirtWorks. Well, you said, well, DirtWorks, that was done on the front end of the program. It was, but as you are aware, and again, all of you were at the football game, you noticed the parking we had in the back for golf carts. That was some dirt work that was done late in the project, and so you'll see some there. The second item is the multipurpose facility. That's everything from the 2-story field house to the covered pavilion and practice areas all through there. Item 3 and letter D is the varsity competition gym. Item 4 is going to be everything from the football stadium to the track building, which we're doing some renovation on, to the restrooms and ticket booth and all that good stuff there. Item 5 is the actually is the alert system. Let me make it very clear. We have a fire alert system currently at Orange Beach Elementary School. The renovations that were done earlier required that the updated system that went into the new areas has the voice activated alert. So we went to everywhere that touched the new areas was updated. Now we want to go ahead and update the rest of them so that it's voice alert throughout the school. They still have the strobes, they still have the alert, they still have everything. It's just not the voice activated that was required in the new areas. So that's what that entails. The next item is OBES gymnasium, providing a new gymnasium for Orange Beach Elementary School. And then the item right next to it would be converting the current gym into additional classrooms. Again, these are as needed. If we get to the point where we're needing more classrooms, this is a plan that would allow us to add classrooms. Again, student enrollment is one of the things we look at there. The next item is CTE, that's Career Technical Education rooms and labs. As our career tech programs grow and blossom and kids start moving through them, we want the ability to add more classrooms there if needed, specifically for items like career hospitality and tourism, health, not health education, help me, health careers, thank you. Couldn't think of that. Health occupation, that's it. Engineering, and we actually did graphic design. We had some stuff that we converted for the digital media for the studio this past year, but this would be making it more where the graphic design has an area as well. Item 9 on that is the OBH 4 classroom addition. If it came to it, if we needed extra classrooms at Orange Beach Middle and High School, we would certainly have the ability to do that by adding a wing to it that we've looked at. Again, these are down the road things if needed. We currently have plenty of room. Mr. Shaw, am I correct in that? Thank you. Good. I owe you $10. Thank you for nodding on that. And then our last item there, again, very last item would be the central office. If it came to where we were able to do that after taking care of all of our kids and all of our programs, if we had the funds to do it, then to really build a central office as opposed to what we have is nice and we appreciate it, but certainly would like our central office where we could possibly have these meetings in. Any questions on the capital plan?
Just on the CTE rooms, that's the 4 rooms that were projected on the original McKee and Associates plan from 2019, right?
It could be.
Okay.
But again, it's just a placeholder.
Yeah.
I think as we continue to move along, we've got to go back and revisit currently what we have, what our students are taking, what is of interest, and what really benefits this community. There's a lot to be considered. It's just a placeholder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any other questions?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Very much. I'm not going to spend as much time right now talking about proficiency. We're going to recognize a lot of our employees tonight, and as a matter of fact, an entire school, for their remarkable achievements this past year. When it comes to proficiency, I think all of you know that in grades 4 and 8, we rank number 1 in the state of Alabama in that of science. We are number 2 in the state of Alabama when it comes to mathematics, and we are number 4 when it comes to English language arts. Congratulations to all of you. Fantastic job. And I promise you, the best is yet to come, right? This is yes. This is no. All right. Thank you so much. So, Mr. McKinney, we've got one additional item tonight, and it's that of public comments. We have a public comment tonight. I'll just remind everyone of the rules that we've got here tonight. I went back. Not all of these pertain to tonight's presentation. We've got about 3 minutes for the presentation. Number 7 there, our speakers, of course, are allowed to make statements about a particular concern with school operations and programs, and they'll observe the appropriate decorum in doing so. Character, reputation, good name cannot be discussed during a board meeting or during a work session. And the reason this one's in the work session, it's more pertinent to things that are not on the board agenda. If we get items that are pertinent to items on the board agenda, then that would be the appropriate place. But because this is a little more general, not pertaining to anything, we're putting it here in the work session appropriately. Refrain, of course, from using profanity and obscenity. It's not a public hearing, and our board simply hears, ladies and gentlemen, they're here to hear things tonight, but not to actually address it. Oftentimes what the end result is, they'll refer it back to the superintendent, and the superintendent will look into matters if matters deem it, okay? And, of course, we like for our speakers to come to the podium, give their full name, if they're representing a group, or any individual that they may represent. So tonight we have Ms. Amanda Vogel. We appreciate Ms. Vogel. We've been working on a matter for about a year or so now, and she has been very open and very responsive, and she's got a matter of student nutrition and wellness that she would like to address tonight. Ms. Vogel.
Thank you so much. My name is Amanda. I'm not talking on behalf of anyone else but myself. I'm a wife, a realtor, and a mother of 2 girls in the Orange Beach school system. And like so many parents in this community, I care deeply about my kids, this town, and the choices we make that shape our children's futures. I want to thank you for the opportunity to speak today. Didn't know it was going to be to a room full of people. Should have requested last week, but I've already sent the board detailed information, research, and ideas regarding student nutrition, so today I'll be brief and focused. First, I wanted to acknowledge what an incredible place Orange Beach is. I'm not here as a disgruntled parent. I'm proud of what our city has built. We're not average, and we shouldn't aim to be. We're a cut above, and that should include how we nourish our children. Yes, we meet federal and state nutrition standards, but Orange Beach isn't about simply meeting the bar. This is a city that sets it. Right now, our children, locally and nationally, are being affected by poor nutrition. It impacts their health, their focus, their energy, their academic performance, and their athletic potential. Most Americans believe that if something is in our food, it must be safe, that the FDA or USDA has vetted it, that our school lunches are built on sound science. Unfortunately, this isn't always true. This isn't just a cafeteria issue, it's a community opportunity. I don't claim to have every solution, but I do have ideas, and I know I'm not alone. Imagine teaching our students to read nutrition labels, expanding our community garden, letting children grow and eat what they plant, hosting cooking classes and forming a nutrition panel of parent volunteers, stocking vending machines with clean snacks, offering healthier school-approved options for classroom celebrations ordered easily through My School Bucks, or improving our lunch program by working with vendors who prioritize whole, unprocessed foods and other organic options. And how do we fund these ideas? We can explore partnerships with initiatives like MAC, which already helps raise funds for student-centered programs. We can also seek grants, collaborate with local nonprofits, and work with existing parent organizations to build sustainable support. In addition, we could partner with local chefs, many of whom are also parents in our community, to donate time, idea, and even mentorship to help shape a practical, healthy, and exciting food experience for our students. Kids should be eating organic, unprocessed, or minimally processed fruits, vegetables, legumes, and nuts, grass-fed, pasture-raised meats, dairy, and eggs, wild-caught fish, high in omega-3s, and we should be reducing refined sugars, ultra-processed grains, industrial seed and vegetable oils. These ideas are bold, but so is this city. I'm not asking for perfection overnight. I'm asking for thoughtful, consistent progress. Let's engage parents, educate students, and use our community's resources to create a model program, one that other districts will look to as the future of school nutrition. Let's stop settling for standards and start setting them. And finally, in honor of a man who died for sharing his biblical values, I want to briefly highlight something Charlie Kirk said that resonates with this message. He reminded us that we should focus on eating the foods that God made and not what man made. That means getting back to the basics, real food grown from the earth, not made in a lab. Let's build something here that reflects those values: faith, family, health, and excellence. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Vogel. Mr. McKinney, that concludes our work session, everything that I have planned.
Okay, I think maybe rather than a break, we just keep moving since we're only a few minutes into it. So at this time, Ms. Cindy Hart, if you would lead us in our invocation. She is the Assistant Principal of Orange Beach Elementary School.
Good evening. Please join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, on this day in September, I know that many come to you with a heavy heart, and I hope, Lord, that you will remind us that we are surrounded by love and support in this community. In Orange Beach, I pray that you will bring us together so that we may lift each other up. I ask that you will help guide us tonight, wisdom, kindness, and unity as we work for the good of our students, our schools, and our families. Please, Lord, continue to bring safety to our campuses, continue to inspire a love for learning in our children, and bless the teachers, the staff, and all who give to this school community. We are truly grateful for each person who contributes and serves. Thank you, Lord, for all that you have done for us. And in your name we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you.
At this time, I'm going to ask Ms. Tennyson Tucker to come forward, and while she's coming forward, I have some things to say. She will lead the Pledge of Allegiance. Tennyson is an outstanding junior at OBMHS who was recently chosen to represent us as a Red Ribbon student. In the words of her teachers, Tennyson was chosen for this honor because she is kind, driven, and selfless. She works hard, and she is seen by her peers as a quiet and encouraging leader. She wants the world around her to be the best place, and she works with different types of people masterfully. She is bold in her passions, and she lets those parts of her shine, and everyone takes notice. Congratulations, Tennyson, and thank you for leading us in the pledge. If you would please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I would officially call this business meeting to order. And if we could start with a roll call.
Mr. McKinney?
Here.
Dr. Bauer?
Here.
Ms. Robinson?
Here.
Ms. Nix?
Here.
Mr. Stewart?
Here. We have a quorum. At this time, we have had the agenda that's been posted. You've had a chance to review it. The chair would entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. We have two different sets of minutes from previous meetings that we're going to address tonight. The first set will be the consideration of the August 12th meeting. The chair would entertain a motion for the approval of those minutes.
So moved. Second.
Now, Mr. Stewart,
One and two.
you were not present at that meeting?
At that one? Okay, then
You
I'll
can't-
remove my,
Thank you. All right, now,
I'll so moved.
okay.
Second.
And I have a second? All right. Any discussions, deletions, additions? Seeing none, those in favor that attended, say aye.
Aye.
Those that were, well, there's a no like sign, it was unanimous for the four that were present.
Correct.
September 4th minutes, last week. Chair would entertain a motion for the approval.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion by Dr. Bauer, second by Ms. Robinson. Discussion, additions, deletions. Those in favor say aye. Aye. The motion carries, it was unanimous.
one thing, Mr. McKinney, I did vote yes on the meeting I wasn't at, even though you told me I wasn't at it. So I will abstain from that first vote for the meeting.
Okay. Okay. You got that?
Yep.
Thank you. Recognition of guests.
Mr. Blevins, will you come forward and do the honors? The Reader's Digest version, please.
Fairбell, stand up and say your name at one time. That will take care. We've got a number of guests, number of family members here, so just a big welcome to everybody here. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Blevins. There are no public comments.
We have no public comments for this meeting at this time, and the announcements, Mr. Wilkes.
Thank you, Mr. McKinney. This is my most favorite board meeting of the entire year. We are going to recognize several of our employees this evening. You all have read the press release, and you've all heard during work session just how well we did this past spring on our assessments. Some of the things I did not mention, that our English language arts increased by 9%, our math by 10%, our science an impressive 19%, and that's over the last 3 years. No school system in the state of Alabama has increased proficiency like Orange Beach City Schools has. And used to, we would say that's out of 138 school systems, but there's actually 153 traditional school systems and charter school systems now. So that's not bad at all. Parker does most of the research. AL.com does a lot of articles using that research. I've left that link there if anybody wants to go out and check the facts there. I have mentioned second in overall proficiency. That's huge. There's only one school system in the state, proficiency-wise, that's better than Orange Beach. And our goal, as we said at Institute, is to be what? Number one. We like that podium. We like the top of it, right? So keep working hard. I have mentioned the first in science, the second in mathematics, and the fourth in English language arts. So we're going to begin tonight by recognizing our recipients of ACAP proficiency. And when I call your name, if you'll stand, and when I've called out everyone's name for this particular honor, I would like for you to come on stage for a photo, and I would like for our administrators to join us here on stage. You're an important part of this team. So in third grade mathematics, and this is top 5 school systems in the state of Alabama, third grade mathematics, Miss Becca Atkins and Miss Abby Bauer, please stand and be recognized. She is standing in the back there. For fourth grade mathematics, Miss Jana Bradford, please stand. Fourth grade science, Miss Nikki Walker. Fifth grade ELA, Miss Callie Morgan, Miss Liz Doré, and Miss Caitlin Lawrence, please stand. Fifth grade mathematics, Miss Kristen Rayburn. Sixth grade mathematics, Miss Laura Hagege. And for seventh grade math, Miss Julie Robinson. A round of applause. No one's seen her since she's retired. I don't know. She may be still sleeping in. And for eighth grade science, Miss Brooke Neal. Would all of you please come on stage? I need to say this tonight also, that the total amount of the incentives, the awards that we're giving out tonight is $84,000. So yeah, that deserves a round of applause. Thank you, board. These are board incentives that were fleshed out by board members and revamped this past summer. So thank you guys.
And actually, we did it without raising the amount that we did last year, if I remember correctly. The total amount, wasn't it relatively less or right at the amount?
Oh yeah, we've far exceeded last year. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I guess we're going to have to put some 90% type incentives out there for this group, and they'll get it. I promise you that. So we've got.
You missed their eyes when you said that.
I did
Some of
what?
them said they already did it, they want it now.
Oh, they were already walking that one into the bank, weren't they? Yeah, well, I know this group. They're terribly competitive, and we love that. I mean, the benefit of this, guys, and I just think about my granddaughter who's in second grade, who's going to benefit from this type of education year in and year out. You cannot put a price tag on what she will receive when she leaves Orange Beach. That's remarkable. So keep up the good work. We're going to change gears. This was actually a new incentive this year. The ACAP second grade reading at or above grade level. We have celebrated for the last 2 years having 100% of our third graders reading at or above grade level. And that's phenomenal. We've got third grade teachers here tonight. Great job. But it did not just start in third grade. So we're going to recognize 95% of all students reading at or above grade level for every teacher that taught last year's second grade. Second grade was at 96% at or above grade level. So Miss Liz Wilson, would you come on stage for our K-4 program? And for kindergarten, Miss Kimberly Hollis, Miss Sarah Hartley, Miss Andrea Lynn, Miss Brandy Rees. First grade, Miss Laura Blackburn, Miss Dolphy, Miss Pouncey, and Miss Ford. Second grade, Miss Tears, Miss Brannon, Miss Gentry, and Miss Barber. How about a round of applause for all of them, please? Great job, great job. All right, we're now going to recognize some of our middle and high school teachers, primarily high school teachers, because that's where advanced placement exams are given. Our teachers have done a phenomenal job increasing the percent of students that pass. I think we were well over 300, Mr. Shaw, of total exams passed this past year, another 14% increase year over year. So I'm going to call our high school teachers on stage. It's $200 is the incentive for every 3+ score of 3 or higher on any of these AP exams. Ms. Sullivan in biology, Ms. Castello in calculus and pre-calculus, Ms. Satullo in chemistry, Mr. Daniel Paul in computer science, Ms. McBee in English comp, Ms. Gardner English literature and environmental science, Ms. Satullo, Mr. Slayton for macroeconomics, Ms. Prater, I think she may not be feeling well today, does a great job in Spanish, Ms. Madison Fields in stats, Mr. Ben Slayton in government, and Mr. Loper in U.S. history. Please come on stage. This last award, it's the first time we've awarded this, and I'm really super excited. What did I say in my email? Did I say there were 1,300 or 1,500 public schools in the state of Alabama? Do you remember? There are a lot of them, okay? And so we had this top 10 in the state. So this award recognizes Orange Beach Elementary School for being one of the top 10 in proficiency, and that's ELA plus math plus science. And that is absolutely remarkable because you're competing against IB schools, you're competing against charter schools, magnet schools, and so forth. And we take everybody in Orange Beach. There's nobody that's separated. If you live in Orange Beach, you're coming to our school. So you guys have done a great job. Every employee who worked at Orange Beach Elementary School last year will receive the incentive of $350. How about a round of applause for all of the employees? And now I need you to come on stage, please. As school has been dismissed, apparently, but not the board meeting. I don't know, is Ben still with us, Ben Hoover? Bowen, excuse me. Bowen was a recipient, Bowen? No? Yeah. He did leave. We'll have him back and ask him to do our pledge again. We didn't realize that he had come in, and we'll recognize him. He's another red ribbon recipient, and so we'll recognize him at a additional board meeting. Board members, I know they've left. Any comments regarding the incentives?
I'd love to. I hate that so many left. I know that McKinney early on has touted having an outstanding teacher in every classroom and how important that is. And you know, and it's more than test scores. The test scores kind of show us where they are. But I was in the gym a couple of weeks ago, and I shared with an individual that was in here, and this kid just kept going on and on about this patent that he was working on. It's a medical device component, and that mentorship from that teacher in that classroom has him thinking bigger and expecting more from himself. And so I was talking to him about ACT scores and how shallow was that, because he's thinking ACT, and he was telling me that and how important that was, but he was also telling me about more. And so that's the difference that teachers make, is that they take you to levels you never thought imaginable. So just great job.
Yes, sir. Any others?
The great thing about living in a small town is you do know everyone. So I've had the pleasure of probably having half of these teachers between all of my children, and I can say they're amazing educators, but they truly have a heart for education, and even more so than the test scores, that is the most important thing that you can have. You can't measure that. It's hard to reward that, so we have to use things such as the test scores, but I just want to say how amazing our teachers are in the ways that are not measurable also. So thanks and congratulations.
Yes, Lisa?
I would just like to say thank you to the city for all that they do to help us to reach these heights that we've reached. Expect Excellence is the most amazing program that I've ever seen. For our kids to have access to that, to come and to have homework lab, to have teachers work with them. We have lots of teachers that come over from the schools and work and expect excellence. If you could just see what goes on there every day, you would be amazed how much it benefits our students. Then we also have the tutoring program 2 days a week at the middle school, high school. I know I was there this morning with math. We had a room full, and I've talked to other tutors that are in their rooms that have just so many kids that are coming for extra help, and that's all from the city. So I don't think we could do as well as we do without their help, so thank you.
Community-wide effort.
Yes.
Yes, a round of applause, please, yes.
I guess for me, and I echo everything that everyone said, but so when I first, I often ask God, I said, why education? Why school board, period, And a friend told me, they're kind of like your kind of people, right? And I was like, what do you mean by that? And I said, well, you like to coach stuff and stuff like that, right? And you like to like mechanics and teach things the right way and all that. Yeah. So, so you're basically kind of cut from the same mold. Now, I'm not nearly as smart as any of you educators out there, I promise you. But the impact that you have on children is phenomenal. And when you look at what teachers are paid compared to whatever, I hope that every cent blesses you. And I just hope and pray we can keep giving more and more and more. So thank you very much.
Yes.
I want to thank everybody that's participating in anything that has to do with this system. And it's been a blessing from day one. And I'm a Jim Collins fan, From Good to Great. And so in his book, basically he says you've got to get the right people in the right seat on the bus. And so sometimes people blossom in one place and they don't in another. And sometimes it's moving that around until you find what really lightens your passion. When you find your passion, then that's when it really works. And you find a teacher that's willing to put forth the effort, that also has love in their heart for the student, that's when those students really benefit. And I think we're so blessed in this community to have those of you that do this. And I'm not just the teachers, but I'm talking about the other employees, the other staff, this central office. They work tirelessly to make sure that you wouldn't believe all the red tape behind everything. Some of you may, but there's a lot of red tape for governments at different levels. So I thank all of you, because I know you don't do it for the money. I know you got a friend making a lot of money in the real estate business, and you say, oh, I'll go get my real estate license and do better than this. Well, maybe not. But if it's not your passion, if it doesn't light you up to do it, then you need to be right where you are. If you can make the light in a child's eyes brighten, you're where you need to be. And we thank you for doing that.
Thank you, board members. Important dates. There are several things that are up and coming. September the 18th, we are the state's game of the week. We will be aired on every public broadcasting system station in the state of Alabama, plus several major stations, especially across North Alabama, from Birmingham to Huntsville. We'll take on the Satsuma Gators that night. That's a 7 o'clock kick. The really cool thing is the camera crew and everything will come in Wednesday. They will set up. It won't quite be ESPN type production, but if you watched a Thursday night game, which we'll get home tonight in time to watch some of that, turn on your local PBS television station and watch. And if it's not good tonight, it'll be the first time. I've watched it just about every Thursday night. You're going to be very proud of how Orange Beach is going to be depicted all across the state of Alabama. They will go live on Thursday night from underneath the pavilion from 5 until 6. Mr. Shaw is working with students. They're going to try to create the first ever for PBS and the Alabama High School Athletic Association game day type set. So we'll have cheerleaders in the background. We'll have band members there. We're going to feed them pizza and give them beverages and all types of things. It's going to be an incredible atmosphere. And we'll do the tailgating again on the outside. Probably have it set up in the wrestling room like it's supposed to be, because I got good news this afternoon. Looks like we're shooting for substantial completion on Monday of next week. So the fire alarm system is working. We had some modifications today in the bleacher system. So all of that is looking good for the 18th. And we need all of you there on that night. We want to fill the stands for television. Show them what Orange Beach is really all about, okay? So looking forward to that. That, too, is the very night that we're going to have our all fours in ELA and mathematics parade before the game across the field. So they've received, as of today, 2 letters. In this most recent letter, there's a $25 gift card to Cosmos. Pretty cool. There's also a ticket plus 1 to get into the game that night. So I think we've got a lot of grandparents that are going to come as well. If you know somebody in the reserve section that's not going to be there, borrow their lanyard. Put a body in those chair back seats, okay? So that's going to be a really cool night.
I got a question.
A live body, preferably. I don't know. Yeah. If you don't mind. Yeah.
Mr. Wilkes, so I've had several ask, when is the last day to RSVP if you received that letter? Because it did ask you to RSVP.
Yeah, we didn't really put a date on it. We just expect everybody to show up.
So it doesn't.
I have not looked. I know we're better than 50, maybe 60% at least early part of the week. We'll send an email because I know we've got that list, distribution list already created. Remind me tomorrow, Ms. Walters, you were there. Let's resend them and say, hey, let's RSVP by Tuesday of next week just so that we can get a count. It's going to be a little bit like Maco's on Main. You know, we're going to put our 3rd graders together and our 4th graders, and we're going to scroll names, and we got to walk probably 30 to 30 to get 200 kids out there, because that's how many we've got that made 4s, both in mathematics and ELA. And we chose those 2 areas because, quite frankly, that number worked with the agreement that we had with Cosmos, and those are the 2 areas that are used for accountability. Not to say that anything else is not important, that's just where the numbers fell, okay? And then the 20th, we've got Freedom Fest. Several of our groups will be working that along with the MAC group. I am super excited about the band festival Sounds of the Island. I think we've got about 7 or 8 different bands that'll be performing beginning around 2 o'clock that afternoon. Look for more information concerning the band festival to come out. They'll warm up under the pavilion. They'll perform in Mako Stadium, and they'll exit through the south end. And then the final band that evening will be my very own Sound of the South marching band from Troy University. So I am super pumped about that. We'll give out a lot of trophies and awards that night. It's always good to have the sound in town. Go Troy. For all you, what is that, a jaguar, your mascot or something?
Yes,
Kitty cat? All right. I think you play somebody this weekend. Who do you play this weekend? Oh, it could be the Auburn Tigers. Yeah, I'm just saying. Miss Hart's favorite day of the year, walk and roll to school day. We will be walking and rolling to school on that day. That is a fun day to see all the kids out on their bicycles and scooters and so forth. I think it's just amazing that we can lay those things in the grass, and in the afternoon we come back and they're still in the grass just like we laid them. That's pretty amazing. On the 9th, actually that should be the 7th, board members. Please make that correction. I'm sorry I didn't see that. I've asked if we could, so we can allow more time for fall break, to do that on a Tuesday night instead of the Thursday night. I did not get any objections.
Which one?
The 9th of August, to move it to Tuesday night, Mr. Stewart.
October the 7th.
I'm sorry, what did I say? August, we've done that month, right? Well, October. Thank you, Matt.
October the 7th.
Yes, October 7th. My apologies. And then you see our fall break on the backside. And then, I don't know anyone else that does this, Community Beach Pep Rally at 5:30. I think sunset's a little bit after 6 at night, and that'll give you plenty of time to walk up to Coastal and partake of the coaches show. So homecoming tailgate on the 17th. It's coming very quickly. You see where homecoming in is. We've got some testing, Mr. Shaw, at the middle and high school First Responders Day, looking so forward to that, having our first responders in the schools, mixing and mingling with our students. Then you see November's board meeting, Thanksgiving holidays, and the Legacy Banquet. Go ahead and mark that on your calendars. Canine Association, they'll be in Mako Stadium. There will be 70 canine dogs from local law enforcement agencies in Georgia, no, maybe it's Florida, Mississippi, and Alabama. And I'm looking forward to that. I think that'll be pretty cool to see them take down the bad guys and run some obstacle courses and so forth. And then you see graduation. So there's a lot on tap for the next couple of months. I don't apologize for the detail. I'm just super excited about it. Any questions? The next item is board member affirmation, and I'll ask if you'll pass that down to Ms. Robinson, please. Something that we learned during monitoring is there needs to be an attestation and an affirmation that you fit all the criteria, that you live in Orange Beach, that you're a good person, yada, yada, yada. If you want to look at it, it's out there online. If you will formally sign that at this time, and we will all witness it. I don't think we have to have it notarized, but it has to be recorded into the minutes. And this will be something that we'll have to do annually, okay? Whether you're re-upping or somebody completely new, this affirmation has to take place according to compliance monitoring, okay? Any questions about that? And then the last thing, thank you, Ms. Robinson, for that, is that of board member recognition. We're going to present you board members now. I'm going to present Mr. McKinney's, and then in turn going to ask Mr. McKinney if he will present the certificates to each one of the board members. AASB, our School Board Member Association, has asked us if we would please to recognize our board members for participating in 6 hours, at least 6 hours, of whole board training annually. How about a round of applause for our board members? This is the last photo of the night. We have to,
We have to take a picture?
Put it on social media for you. Yeah, if you don't mind, hold up your certificate upright, please. Mr. McKinney, you did get one. I'll stand in here with you. And the superintendent's supposed to participate, and he does. I saw him there.
Is this compliance?
It is compliant. We are compliant, sir. Which way was this way? Thank you, board members, very much. All right. Mr. McKinney, that concludes our announcements this evening.
Thank you. All right, let's go to action items, and action item, Mr. Wilkes.
Yes, sir. The superintendent recommends board approval of the fiscal year FY26 budget as presented. This is the second and final reading of the FY26 budget. If we receive our first and a second, I'll ask Mr. Gray to come to the podium, and any questions that the board may have of that presentation, I'm sure he'll be glad to take.
Have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second?
Mr. Gray,
Back to Mr. Gray.
do we want to cover any of these particular items tonight, or just simply take questions?
No, sir, I have not planned to. I will take questions, and I just want to make the statement on the response or comment forms. To date, we have not received any. So any questions or concerns, I'll be happy to address.
I want to thank you for the work, because there's a lot of work in this, and I also want to thank you for your additional education in your area that has given you more confidence, and it's more fun. So
Yeah,
thank you.
good, thank you.
And working the football games.
He is a concession stands
that might
guy.
be
He
harder
is the
work
man.
This job, yeah.
Actually, behind every good man, there is a great woman, and Shannon does a great job.
You don't cut
correct.
my grass, okay?
Cut your grass. I still charge my hourly rate.
Thank you, Mr. Gray.
Thank you.
Any more discussions, questions? Hearing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries, and it was unanimous.
Next item.
Yes, sir. The superintendent recommends board approval of the personnel recommendations. I'll ask if there are any set-asides. If not, we have certified items tonight. We have a couple of FMLAs tonight for certified employees for the upcoming school year, and we have a retirement consideration for the 25-26 school year from a classified employee.
Chair would entertain a motion for its approval.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Action item number 3, the superintendent recommends board approval of the attached financial statements as read and presented in the work session.
Chair would entertain a motion for its approval.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries.
Action item number 4, that of surplus items. The superintendent recommends board approval of the attached declaration of surplus items. Just for mentioning, there are some textbooks that we'd like to declare surplus and Promethean boards that we would also like to consider surplus. There are serial numbers listed with each of those, or ISBN numbers, I guess, with textbooks.
You've seen those items listed on the agenda posted. Any chair would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Discussion. Seeing none, those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The motion carries. It's unanimous.
And the last action item this evening is that of a capital plan. The superintendent recommends board approval of the attached capital plan as presented in tonight's work session.
The chair would entertain a motion for the approval of the capital plan.
So moved.
Second.
Have a
Have-
motion and
I
a
have a
second.
question after the second.
We have a motion and a second. Discussion.
Okay.
Mr. Stewart.
Yeah, so, and actually, this is, maybe you can tell me, it hit me when we were talking about the elementary school and the alert system. Is there a camera on our fields, on the playgrounds?
Yes, sir. As a matter of fact, it's so strong that we have read a dumpster, the phone number, from all the way at the elementary school, all the way to the other side of the current, where the gazebo is. Mr. Blevins, am I correct in saying that? Yeah, we can read telephone numbers on little,
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah, it's that pan to zoom. Pan tilt zoom. Thank you, sir.
And then also on, I don't know what we call the field that's southeast of the school? You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Is that utilized for anything that needs?
It's now the garden. I think they
Okay.
use that for gardening and so forth.
Okay, cool.
But that's a good opportunity for us to take Ms. Vogel up and work on our junior master gardener program. Dr. Long, where is she? She is disappeared. There you are. Disappeared on me.
And I would like to add where it was talking about the alarm upgrades at the elementary school, and he was talking about voice. That's a step in the direction, kind of like the Clery Act did after Virginia Tech, to go to mass notification, like weather, you name it. So it kind of gives intelligible messaging. It doesn't do that right. This doesn't do that, but it gives you the ability to go there.
I think we've got to have a lot more discussion on this. This gets us through September 15th deadline, I think, or is it October 1? So in my opinion, that's next priority.
Oh, absolutely.
I was reading an article about AI and security and school security and all this other stuff. Man, I think in the next few years, there's going to be stuff out there that is really, really incredible. And they were talking about specific things for schools, and wow, so hopefully that all comes in cheap. is what I'm hoping.
Come into fruition. Well, it's made one man very wealthy, according to the article I just read. AI has, Mr. Oracle out there. So, capital plan, any other questions? Okay.
Any more questions? Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign if you oppose. I think it was unanimous. I didn't hear. Okay.
We have a few discussion items. Mr. McKinney, would you like for us to talk about those?
Absolutely.
We've got two board policies, I guess somewhat of an amendment revision that we've got presented here tonight. And this is just strictly for discussion. If the board warrants it, we could consider this to the first reading. if there's a need of second reading. There is a need for us to align our qualifications with board members with that of the state. And what we brought in was the board policy that we had, and it's functioned like we needed it to. But there are probably a lot of changes that we need to make over time. As I have here in red, and of course the red always indicates a change in current policy, so this is what 211 currently reads. The purpose of the policy is to establish the qualification of members of the Orange Beach Board of Education consistent with the Constitution and laws of the state of Alabama. And then you see the black font where there's been no changes. And then we get into the bullets, and you see a few changes there. I'll go to bullet number 2. The individual shall not be employed by the Orange Beach school system or any public K-12 system during their term in office. And then going to the 4th bullet there, the individual must be a high school graduate or possess a high school equivalency diploma. We formerly had at least a degree from a 4-year college and university. And then if you go down to the last bullet, we clarify the individual must not be serving on the governing board, very much like this governing board, of a private elementary or secondary school. And then this other really, we've done this tonight, which is attestation, affirmation of being qualified. Before taking office, each board member will publicly affirm, as Ms. Robinson did in writing, that are required by law, how the decisions are made, what the actions that follow the recommendations, and respecting the roles of board members and superintendent. And all that's somewhat in the policy, but not in this particular qualification. So that will probably help us with monitoring by having all this in there, and then we take our minutes, we put it all in there, and they say, that is good. Do you have questions about this, our discussion?
Well, I think this one makes sense. Aligning it with state law, it eliminates confusion, just personally.
Yeah, I agree.
Anyone else? Okay, well then, the second board policy, and it's a lot of policy, just for our audience tonight, often reflects state and federal regulations, and some are hotter topics, and feds and state people will require you to have a policy. This is just really a repeat of what state law has to say about corporal punishment. The reason I think we might need to consider removing it is because our student code of conduct says we won't administer it. So I don't want to give parents any indication that we're going to by policy, and there's a conflict somewhat within the code of conduct. So my recommendation would be, as a first reading, would just be simply to eliminate it. Nas, do you have an opinion on that?
Yeah, we'd have to change one or the other. They need to align.
And I can vouch that it has created confusion over the last couple of years. I have received messages or phone calls that say, hey, you allow corporal punishment, and then you have to resort them back to the code of conduct.
State law allows it.
Yeah.
But we've already taken the stand inside the district that we're not going to do such.
Yeah.
So I think the easiest thing to do is next month is just remove this one.
Well, in the way the state law is written, it says you cannot unless you have a policy, and really the case law's gotten so poor on it, might as well delete it.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know that anybody wants to take that.
Well, we don't want it to happen anyway, so.
No, it's just, yeah. So are you good? Do you have any other questions or comments regarding that?
I think
All right. That's all the discussion items, sir.
Thank you. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, October 7th, and that's changed from the 9th. Tuesday, October 7th will be the next meeting. The work session will convene at 4:30. The regular meeting of the board will convene immediately following the work session, and those meetings will be held here in the council chambers. And the public is encouraged to attend. And whole board training has been postponed. It was scheduled for next week, and for Mr. Stewart's election to the city council, we'll have an open board seat, and it makes sense for the new board member to attend that training with us. So and they're going to enjoy every second of it.
It's all day.
It's a fun day.
It's fun.
It is quite interesting, and it's always good to learn the basics, and we'll be looking forward to whoever that person is that's appointed to serve with this board. So, anything else, Mr. Wilkes?
No, sir.
In that case, the chair would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion in 3 seconds. Those in favor
Second.
say aye.
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 Motion carries. We are adjourned.